Hey, everybody. Here we are with Annette from Allison The Bookman, downtown North Bay. Annette, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. So before we started recording, I was just saying I was on a Slack call with some of the staff, and they were saying that, yeah, they go to Allison The Bookman all the time. As a matter of fact, they've got a great website for search functionality that you can search the books from, is it ISBN numbers?
ISBN title, partial titles, partial author. My husband made it as easy as he could.
Wow, he's handy.
He is.
That's awesome. Okay, it's pretty obvious the name Allison the Bookman, but there's so much rich history here. Tell us a little bit about Allison the Bookman.
It's actually my grandfather's baby. My grandmother, she knew that he loved books. He was actually a postman at the time that they started collecting books to start the bookstore, and she knew that his dream was to have an organized bookstore.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it started off as just this little section here of 342 Main Street. There was, I think, a restaurant beside when he opened up. And then they gradually bought the building over by 1986. And when he passed away in 1995, it was run by my grandmother, and my dad and some other family members too were managing in those years too. And oh, there's the phone. But I'm closed now, so we're okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just one of those. It was his love, it was his baby, and he wanted to not be a postman anymore, so he did that for quite a few years. And he was also a printer, and
Wow.
Just he this was his baby, to have an organized bookstore that people could come in and they could know the section and be able to find it by the author and title. And
Yeah.
my dad carried that on until his passing in 2011, and then it came into my hands, and here I am today.
Wow. So how long then have you had it? Since 2011?
Yep, 2011. I started I was actually living in Wisconsin at the time.
Wow.
And I still live in Wisconsin part-time. I go back and forth because my husband's American. And
oh, I see. Okay.
yeah, so he's
Yeah.
stuck down there in Wisconsin, and I'm up here doing this right now. And we have our
Wow.
house still down in Wisconsin. So I just commute back and forth, and I stay up here for a month or so at a time. And I help take
Wow.
care of everything from afar as well. So we're hooked up to, if the staff have any problems with the computers or they need help with anything, I can just dial in and
Yeah.
help figure out the programs, or my husband can. And yeah.
That's awesome. So would you have an idea how many books you guys have in inventory?
Typically we have over 200,000 at any given time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of inventory.
Yeah, well, we have our archive in the basement as well. So that archive in the basement is organized according to a bookshelf area, as well as boxes that have numbers on them. So we can go down and we can locate books fairly easily and quickly for customers when we need to.
So you have both new and used books now, or is it straight used? Tell us a little bit about that.
No, we have new books. We deal with all the publishers directly through different reps. And yeah, so we deal with Penguin Random House, Scholastic, a lot of smaller independent ones from around Canada, some Indigenous ones. Yeah, and then the used side of things, everything then comes from our customers or stuff that I find as I'm going around to garage sales. If I know a customer's looking for it, I snag it. And yeah.
Right. So who is the most popular author? Who are people coming in looking for? There's probably a few of them, but I mean, what are the ones that stand out in your mind?
The ones that are typically what we call breathing sections are because it looks like the shelves are constantly expanding and filling in.
Okay.
Is the typical ones: James Patterson, Nora Roberts, Michael Connolly, who I'm almost completely out of on some of his titles right now because everybody seems to want the Bosch series.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really depends. The rest of them, I mean, the Baldacci is obviously very huge. And
Okay.
Diana Gabaldon with the Outlander series. So yeah,
You haven't mentioned Harry Potter series. Is that like
always? I mean, I buy that. I have to bring it in new all the time because anything that comes in used is either somebody's already on our want list for, already, or
Wow.
it's, just we're out of stock as soon as it comes through. So
Right. So used books. Can I just drop off my used books? Is that the idea? What does that look like?
it used to be that you could give us a call if you had more than 2 boxes, and we'd set up a time for you to come in and drop off those. It used to be too that you could just come in with a bag. But with things changing, we have to change how we have to do our credit system now. So this is why we're not going to open on Tuesday. It'll probably be a little longer for us, because we will have to build a section in our back room area where we can quarantine books for 72 hours before we can even process them through. So it's going to be by appointment only at that point, and it'll take us a lot longer, but we got to do what we got to do to, make
Yeah.
sure the team is safe and
Yeah.
that books are reaching the customers in a safe way. So yeah, it'll be a different way of doing things, but typically, yeah, you bring in your books, we give you a credit amount for them, and anything we can't use, we either recycle or we donate to other places like seniors homes and women's shelters and that around North Bay
Love it.
area.
Love the idea. I love
Yeah.
the idea. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it was pretty impressive when one of the ladies from work just said, "Yeah, I go there all the time. Don't you ever use their online?" I go, "No, I've never been to their online." So I just checked it out. It's pretty awesome. So well
Yeah.
done. So we're almost
The-
over the COVID scenario. When do you guys plan to open? Has there been any announcements for you guys or?
Not yet. I'm working with my contractor. He's going to be building us some protective areas around our counter space. And then I've got some shelving I got to build in the back for the quarantine area. And I've got to get my driveway done to make sure that it's safe for customers to be able to reach our back door and not get stuck in a big puddle of mud.
Yeah,
It is a dirt parking lot right now. So yeah, so we got a few things that we got to get done before I can really take those steps and make sure that my team members are safe when they do come back to work.
for sure. So when you guys do open, will it be back to normal hours or will that be adapted or changed?
We're gonna have to rethink our hours, I think, at that point. We're hoping to be able to at least do the winter hours where we're open till 5, possibly 6. It's really going to depend because we have to have multiple staff for each of those time frames if we do have it open till 6 o'clock. And
Right.
that's not something we've typically done in the past. Usually a staff member would have coverage until about 4:30, and then they would stay on and they do all their closing duties till 6. But I think that is all going to have to change a little bit. So
Yeah. So are you currently offering curbside then? Because you're not
yeah,
open now, but you're at work and you're answering the phone. So
yeah, we're doing curbside and delivery is an option. The
nice.
curbside's been going quite well. Monday I came in and I had over 40 plus requests just
Wow.
to check, and that was just from emails, Facebook messages, and then that didn't include all the phone calls that were on the phone. And I think I still have 14 messages to get to today. So yeah,
Wow.
it's
Good.
definitely been steady. So
I guess people have a little bit extra time. Well, some people have some extra time, so they're making good use of it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Listen, North Bay, it's all about supporting local business, and Allison the Bookman has probably over 200,000 books in inventory or within their easy reach. So I think pretty much any title you're looking for, you would pretty much have
Well,
there.
and we do
So
special orders a lot for people. If we don't have it in stock, we can typically look around and see what kind of the prices we can get for people, whether it's new or used. If it's out of print, obviously it's always going to be a secondhand copy, but we've done that for a number of years now, doing these special orders, and that's really caught on with people as well. So
right.
um, normally with me going back and forth, we were able to get a lot more cheaper copies by sending them to my house down in the States and then being able to bring them up. But
Right.
there's not as much free shipping into Canada as there was
Yeah,
down to
yeah.
the US.
Things have changed somewhat.
Yes.
So,
So
so let me ask you, when I read, I scribble and comment and mark up my books big time. Do you still accept those books or no, you can't put them back out?
9 times out of 10, they either will end up as a donation if it's something that's at least a tight copy, or they'll end up in the recycling bin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
people just don't want to buy them, and they don't even want other people's notes in them. And
Yeah.
yeah, they get.
Well, I buy the book because I want to garner the information from it. So I'm scribbling, highlighting, writing notes. My sidebars are all filled out. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would be the ones that we'd be like, oh, too much highlighting. Yeah, no, we can't take that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Annette, listen, thank you so much for coming on. It was so nice to have you here. I appreciate your time. Remember, tough times don't last. Tough people do. We're almost over it.
Yep.
And hopefully, I don't think things will ever go back to the way they were.
No.
You're already making those changes. You can see that you're going to have to take care of these things, but it will be for the better of everybody. And it'll hopefully future protect us in case something like this ever happens again. We'll have at least an understanding how to deal with it.
I agree. Yes, completely.
So thank you. Watch your travels back and forth to seeing your hubby, and we'll probably have you on again sometime in the future.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Paul.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.